Hey everyone, so just a quick little funny video here. Recently I was on Twitter and I saw this tweet by a TERF who was talking about stretch marks and how stretch marks were a sign of being a real woman.
I am a biological female. I created life within my body. I birthed my babies naturally and via C-section. I have stretch marks. I've earned them. That's God's way of reminding us of our body's capabilities. I went through the pain of bringing life into this world. Like many women, we can do what no biological male can do. No matter how much they try, it's physically and scientifically impossible. Here's to the real women who have earned your tiger stripes. No one can take that away from us. The attached photo is that of a woman whom had a tattoo artist fill in her stretch marks to show them off. Note, any disrespectful comment will garner an instant block.
Now, there's a lot of things going on with this tweet, but the funniest thing for me is how this woman uses stretch marks as like a sign of being a real woman when all human beings have stretch marks. I have stretch marks as a transgender woman. For me, it was because I lost a lot of weight and things like that. But like, there are numerous ways to get stretch marks, whether it be from an injury, whether it be from a surgery, whether it be from, skin issues, or just like the way your skin is generally without it being a problem in any case. And it can be from what this woman says, having gotten pregnant and your skin expanding and then, retracting after you give birth, but it is not exclusive to that. But it showcases continually how TERFs will always try to find ways to sort of determine what a true woman is tied into biological essentialism. Trying to find some biological essentialist way to exclude transgender people, but by doing so, they always exclude other cisgender women as well. Like quite often they will say like, oh, we have periods, and so periods so that we're real women composed to those awful transgender women who aren't real women because they don't have periods. When there are many cisgender women as well who also don't have periods. And also, arguably, transgender women, while I do not like shed my uterine lining every week, when one thing I do notice about myself is when I inject with hormones, I inject estrogen, I also do have fluctuations in my hormone level that does lead to certain bodily functions that align with having a period. Again, it's not the same thing one-to-one, it's different, but I do experience bloating. I do experience like monthly mood swings as a result. Like one of the big things is I notice whenever I'm here needing to inject again estrogen, I have a lot of anxiety within me. Whenever I'm anxious, I'm like, oh man, why am I so anxious? Like, oh, it's because I need to inject estrogen. And it's even if I inject estrogen a little bit early, I still have those anxiety swings because my body is sort of self-regulating itself. And so there's always these constant overlaps of an experience of being a human being, but also within the umbrella of being a woman. And yet TERFs constantly want to try to put up walls in ways that will try to exclude trans people, but ultimately will exclude other people as well. And that is also showcased in this tweet by the fact that this woman who tweeted this wasn't showcasing a picture of herself, but the picture, which she called tattoos of, she called these like stretch mark, the glitter stretch marks like tattoos, which is not the case because they're just someone put glitter on them. But from what I could find from my research, and I couldn't find the exact name of the person, so apologies if I get the background wrong. From what I can tell, I believe the woman was of Middle Eastern descent who did this. And so what's interesting is it just showcases how quite often TERFs, through their white feminism, because TERFs is often aligned to white feminism because it upholds the sort of view of women as weaker, as needing to be protected, ultimately upholding women's roles as like needing to be subservient or secondary to men. What they will often do is, steal things from people of color in order to sort of prop up their, gender essentialism bullshit and also exclude or ignore or downplay the work of people of color. Again, we saw this, I did a video on Giggle, the Giggle app recently, about how that app tries to exclude trans women and ultimately harmed a lot of black women as well by not seeing black women as women, incidentally. And so it just, again, showcases how often TERFs, by trying to uphold this patriarchal norm of what a woman should be, even though they wouldn't think of it that way, but they're always trying to centralize womanhood to the body and like women need to be protected, will often exclude not just trans people, not just other women generally, but specifically will often marginalize people of color and other women from other marginalized backgrounds as well, because a lot of that biological essentialist view of womanhood also stems from racism and race science as well, going all the way back to things like colonialism, and trying to justify, black women being less of women, less human, and things like that. So it just showcases how all these things are tied together, and I just saw that so clearly. It is just evident in this tweet, and so I just kind of wanted to have a discussion about it.